Welcome back, all you sports and gambling fans out there. Today we have some NBA betting coverage for you. And joining me here is Joe Gavazzi, our SBR contributor. The game we're looking at here is the Houston Rockets going up against the Indiana Pacers. Joe, always a pleasure to have you here. How you doing today?
Thanks a lot, Dax. You know, we're coming to the NBA stretch drive here. College basketball winding down. So we're going to have some real good NBA winners coming up here in the next 3 weeks for you guys.
All right, good stuff, man. Let's start looking at the 46-23 Rockets. Now, at the moment, they are third in the West and only 2.5 games behind the second place Memphis. And they're coming into this game dropping a 3-game winning streak last Saturday when they lost 117-102 against the Phoenix Suns. Now, they struggled with some defensive issues as they gave up 54 points from the paint, which is well above their season average of 43.7. But considering that their opponent at hand, do you expect them to get back on their winning ways, Joe?
Yeah, this is going to be a real good spot for Houston here tonight. In fact, you mentioned that Saturday loss, and actually they're 16-6 against the spread off a loss, over 70%, and that is the highest winning percentage of any NBA team coming off a loss in their previous game. So this is a good bounce back spot for the Houston Rockets. You also mentioned they were only 2.5 games behind Memphis for second place. Well, of equal importance is they're holding on to a narrow 2-game lead for other teams before they could fall as far back as 6th or even 7th in the Western playoff queue. So this is a very, very important game for the Houston Rockets, who behind Harden have really stepped up and played admirably in the absence of Dwight Howard.
Well, I think it's also important for the 30-39 Pacers, who not so long ago were pretty much in a playoff picture. But that 5-game losing streak that right now they're on has them pretty much looking from the outside now. Now, that last loss was against the Nets, 123-111. So, Joe, taking into account that this is going to be the second time that they meet Houston, which took the first game 110-98, might we expect to see Indiana go 0-6 after this one?
Yeah, I think that could well be the case. This is a team who, when news came down that Paul George, their best player, could be returning toward the end of the year, and point guard George Hill returned to the lineup, they responded admirably, going on a 12-2 straight up an ATS run to actually climb into the playoff race in the Eastern Conference. However, they are now in a dogfight with 3 other teams for that final spot, and they're not playing well, responding poorly under the pressure. In fact, as you point out, they've lost 5 consecutive games and failed to cover the number in 6 consecutive games. It's a team that's directly on the downturn, and it's attributable to poor defensive efforts. You noted their poor defensive effort in their previous game. Well, in that losing streak, they have now allowed 106 points per game, 10 points better than their Eastern Conference leading 96-point per game defense. This is a team on a downer right now.
All right, Joe, but there's something fishy here. I mean, right now, odds makers are favoring Indiana by 1 to 1.5 points. So are they making us think something else here that we shouldn't be? I mean, what's the best play here, Joe?
Well, let's not really think too much into it. Let's just gladly accept a Western Conference Houston team is an underdog. Remember, when West meets East, the Western teams are 59% straight up in those meetings. Houston is among the best in that role, standing 20-6 straight up. And while Houston is 20-13 straight up on the road, one of the better road teams in the NBA, Indiana, a rather mediocre 18-17 straight up at home. We've got some nice bases with that inverted home-road dichotomy. Got a nice basis with West versus East. And the Houston Rockets in a solid bounce-back spot against the fading Indiana team. We'll take Houston as an underdog team. Wrong team favored in this one, Dax. Houston's your play.
That's what I thought, man. All right, Joe, pleasure talking with you. Thanks for all the insights here and the pick, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow.
My pleasure, Dax. Talk to you soon.
All right, everyone else, don't forget to check back with us tomorrow for some more sports coverage and your free picks. Till then, for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.